Cross the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the booming heavens roar. You'll behold in breathless wonder the god of thunder, mighty Thor.
Hey guys, it's Chris, Vancouver Comic Junkie, and I just got something in my eye as I started talking. These things happen. I'm here to talk about some comics I picked up. I've been actively trying to go after like collections and a little bit more stuff around town, just looking around, picking around, seeing what's out there that isn't just a store. I've been finding with stores and stuff like that, I've been having a hard time. Well, at the end of the day, these owners of stores and stuff, they need to make a penny, so they charge. They go to eBay and they look at what things are selling for and they charge accordingly. And I'm finding certain stores have raw books that are at CGC pricing at this stage. Not all stores, but a few. And I'm finding some of the pricing is getting out of hand. Saying that, the market's crazy right now, so and it's going fast. G.I. Joe 21 just doubled in price, and it was already an exceptionally expensive issue. It's, I think, a $3,000 book right now, which freaks me out a bit because it feels a little market manipulated. But then, that's a whole other topic. But what's happening is, so if someone finds a raw copy, they're wanting $2,500 for it, which, for a non-CGC copy is ridiculous. So I've been kind of pulling away from going to my local haunts and things like that. And quite frankly, I'm not even finding a ton of deals online. So I've just taken to hitting Craigslist, hitting, Kijiji, just hitting a lot of my old... I have some little tricks on how to find collections that I used to do. And I've just been kind of going that route. And I got to tell you, so far so good. And it's pretty exciting. It's actually like brought a little excitement, like driving to a collection. Like, is this going to be a good one? And frankly, 50% of the time they're horrible. Like, they're just horrible. But 50% of the time, I'm always surprised at what I find. And don't discount if someone says they have a collection of books from like the late 80s to early 90s. There is a lot of good stuff in there, and I'm going to show you some of the good stuff that you might not be thinking about. This is all stuff I bought. This is a video that's books that were, when I was a kid, were a big deal. These were total nerd books. And I'm going to start off with, and they're all movie related. And you'll see why I'm doing it. And I think if you're of my age or just actually like cool stuff, you're going to like these books. So I'm going to start with this first book. And by the way, out of this collection I bought from yesterday, I don't know why, but every book is a potential 9A candidate. Like, there were mint. It was bought from an estate sale and a storage locker, I think. And I was the first guy to go through it, which was pretty nice. And most of it was like Superman, which there's not a lot of stuff there that I have interest in. Other people might, not me. But there's probably about 20 long boxes. And I didn't know there was that many Superman books and Batman books, but of an era that just wasn't of interest to me. And but I went through it, and but I found all these, and again, somebody loved these books, and it really shows. But the first book I want to show is, it's not a high dollar book, but it's The Thing from Another World. It's a Dark Horse book. I think it came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, but it's a book that I mean, that cover is awesome. And I love this... I love the movie, and it's the first appearance of the Thing in comics. So I just snagged it. It was $1, and I'm not going to complain. And I'd recommend. There's a real nostalgia kick going on right now, and you're probably seeing it with these incredibly high prices on things that just aren't comic books, that are like things like Turtle, the TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, are going through the roof, as we all know. G.I. Joe's going through the roof. Transformers are going through the roof. Everything. I mean, I'd go pick up some GoBots, issue 1, or Mask, or anything that was toy related or has a little bit more than just a comic book to it. It seems like nostalgia is really kicking in for a certain collector base. And a lot of these books were big deals back in the day. And I think a lot of older people are coming back to it, especially with COVID. They're looking at what made them happy. A lot of these guys and girls make money now and are able to slowly, pick up this stuff. So the next book I got, and I got to tell you guys, when this came out, it blew my mind, and I never had this issue. I couldn't afford it. It was actually a pretty pricey book. It's Aliens First Print, #1. It's Mark Nelson, I think, is the artist. It's phenomenal artwork for its era, black and white. It was the first time I felt like a company took an adaptation. It's not even an adaptation. It's like a continuation of the Alien storyline, and they took it seriously. And this book exploded back in the 80s. From my remembrance of it, it was about a $40 book for a while. But back in 1987, 86, or whatever it came out, that was a lot of money to an average collector. So, and I had a friend who had one, and I was very jealous of him. But I was able to pick up a very nice copy. I don't think this one's a 9.8 because it has a couple spine ticks along the side here. I think it's like a 9. It could be a 9.4, 9.6. I think if someone's drinking on the day of grading at CGC, I might get a 9.8, but I don't think so. But I'm very happy with this. I just want everyone to know, like, if you're looking through collections and you see this book, snag it. 9.8 copies go for like $1,500 to $1,700 US. And I don't know about you guys, that's a lot of freaking money for a book that there's a few of them out there, but make sure it's a first print. First prints are the way to go. There's like 5 prints of this, so you got to be careful with that. I picked up actually the rest of them, and these happen to all be 9.8s, of course, but they're really nice, or at least candidates, I should say. But they're all really good. At the end of the day, I was very fortunate to pay very little for all of these. Very, very little. It was worth just picking up if I don't do anything with them. Even if I was just to read them, they were that reasonably priced. And somebody just honked their horn. Someone's moving. This is just a good read, is what it is. The other one I picked up afterwards is they had all the Alien stuff. I only picked up a few things, but I always love this cover. It's not really worth much, but god damn, that's a great cover, isn't it? It's just wonderful. And back in the era of airbrushing, but I remember seeing this as a kid, and the insides are kind of cool too. It's kind of again, they took Aliens very seriously, and this is back in the era where before Alien 3 came out, and everyone wanted to see like a continuation of the movie Aliens. It was such a great action film. And, they didn't give us that in the movies, but in comics they did. And it was really, really well done. And again, people are really gravitating towards it now. So if you do get a chance to look at a collection or just kind of luck out and find these, I would recommend snagging them. I think obviously the world says they're really good buys. They're worth quite a lot of money. Even the second, third, fourth issue. I mean, if you get 9.8 copies, they're anywhere from $100 to $200. And those books are more common. They're not hard to get. And if you're, wanting to put a little value in your collection and also have some great books, these are great books to grab. The next one I got is not quite as interesting, I think, to a lot of people. I don't know why. The reason why the other reason that Aliens is going up is Aliens is the actual franchise is owned by Fox, and Disney now owns Fox. So now Marvel Comics can use Aliens in their comics. So kind of like we saw like crossovers like Batman versus Predator and Aliens and stuff like that. We're gonna hopefully see that in Marvel stuff. So that's pretty freaking cool, actually. I hope that happens. It sounds like that's the plan. I think people are speculating on the idea that maybe since Disney owns Aliens, they're going to put Aliens in the MCU, and I couldn't tell you how stupid that sounds to me. It just makes no sense. I just realized I'm wearing the wrong glasses. I have to wear 2 different types of glasses because I'm old, and these are the ones I'm supposed to be wearing. So, hey, look, it's all clear now. Anyway, The next one is not owned by Marvel, but I don't think it is. But it's Terminator by Dark Horse. But it falls into that nostalgia thing. And I was able to pick up quite a few of them actually. And I got them for about $1 a piece, so I'm not complaining there. Um, this is a great book. It's again, it's falling into the nostalgia world. I think it's starting to pick up steam. All these nostalgia books are. This is definitely one to grab. You can get them for nothing. And if you get high grade copies, which most of these are, if I was to send all 5 of these in, I'm pretty confident I would get at least 1 or 2 9/8s, and or I'll probably pick those out and send them in. I really don't want to be sitting with a 9.4 or 9.6 on this book. I'd just like a 9.8 for my own collection. This is not. I'm not here to make money on this one, but I do think this would be a nice addition to my collection. Talking about Terminator, these are interesting too. So Dark Horse did it as well, but then Now Comics did a really nice attempt at it too. The covers are really great, and number one is it goes for very little, but they're when you find them, they're printed on very nice stock, so they are always super high grade, unless they've been beaten up, obviously. But they do hold a good grade because of just the quality of the publishing. But number one, it's this is a dollar bin book, is what it is, and I paid as such. I think for $1, why not? This is the interesting thing out of that the Terminators by Now Comics. They did another one called Terminator: The Burning Earth. The interesting thing about this book, and I picked up 2 of them actually, and you're probably going, why? That seems odd. It's actually the first Alex Ross art ever. I remember as a kid, I picked these up. My brother did actually. He was a big Terminator fan. He picked these up, and he thought they looked pretty cool, so he showed them to me. And yeah, they're pretty great. I mean, Alex Ross obviously was a very unique artist. Created a whole new way of looking at comics, and this was the beginning. There are people out there who like this book. I think this book goes in the 100 to 150 range in a CGC 9.8. So I'm going to make a run at trying to get one. So I think I got one here, but the collection also. Oh, I got one more here. Talking about nostalgia stuff. Also, I picked up a Real Ghostbusters #1. It's in really nice shape. Again, it was very cheap, like $1. I think I paid for it. But again, back to the nostalgia era. This is it's one of those books, man. It's falling into that territory. I think there's a lot of room to grow on these. I don't think they were hyper collected when they came out. So I think a lot of them sat in dollar bins, meaning a lot of them probably got beat up. And hopefully you can drag one out of a collection or something at some point. So the next book, this is for me, this was one of my all-time favorite books. It's a really underrated book. It's not so much now. It's starting to get expensive, and you'll see why. It's Predator #1 first print. When I was a kid, there's an artist, Chris Warner drew these. And Chris Warner was a Dark Horse art director, and he was fantastic. And I was always let down with the fact that he only did Dark Horse stuff, and I always wish he would have done more because I just loved his art. Just such a. I mean, that cover is incredible. Back in the era when this came out, there was only a movie, and you couldn't go. Today there's fan films, and there's 30 sequels and all this stuff, but there was just one movie, Predator, and so they did this sequel right around the time the second one came out. And it was exciting. It was like stepping into a movie, and they really, really, really worked hard to make it great. And it was great. And there's a nice little run of them, but I ended up picking up one. The crazy thing about this book, I always thought it was meh, whatever. It's price wise, and I own one. I owned one already because I just was a fan, and I was like, nah, I'll get a 9.8 one day, out of it. I'll send it in for my collection. But then when I looked at a collection on Friday. I just looked it up on my phone, and I was shocked to find out 9/8s in this are going for $500 to $700 US. I jaw on the ground, what? And for first prints, and second prints go for about 200, which is still pretty significant. And I found a few. So I found, well, there's 3 here, but I found more. There's 4. There's 5. There's 6. So I was able to buy 6. And I gotta be honest, guys, these things are... There's a couple in here that, I mean, I've taken them out. I've looked at them. All of them are 9.8 candidates. Every single one, which is wonderful. You don't usually come across that many of any book as 9.8 candidates. I mean, they're right down to like their binding. Like a lot of times you get a little bit of a fray here or a fray here, and hopefully pressing and a little bit of cleanup can fix that. These are perfect. They're razor sharp. Every one of them. There's no spine ticks. They're perfect. There's no publishing errors. They're perfect. And I mean, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot. If I got a 9.9 on one of these, I would not be shocked, quite frankly. I really would not be shocked. So I am super stoked about that. What my plan is, I'm sending all these in, all 6. And my plan is, you know, if it does go for that kind of price, I will slowly sell them and, you know, put that money into my PayPal. And that will, you know, move into buying a book. And I'll keep one for myself, obviously, because I love it. But I'll put that money towards a bigger book. Right now I really want to get a Fantastic Four #1 in the next year. So that would just sort of put parlay towards that. So if I could, you know, as the days go on and I find more books like this, I'm gonna try and, you know, move myself up in the collector ladder. And I recommend that you guys try the same thing. But at the end of the day, I am going to be very happy to have. I'm confident I will get a few 9.8s on these, and I'm very excited about that. Just to own it, and if any extra money comes from it, that's a huge boost. Again, I was very fortunate to buy these at a exceptionally reasonable price, which I'm very happy to have. So that's the video, guys. Just movie nostalgia books. There's others. There's tons of others. I'm gonna do a video on all the Marvel movie adaptation stuff, which is shockingly expensive if you get into the 9.8 category. I love that stuff. I'm a movie guy. I work in movies already, so it's obviously a love of mine. But the comics were a big part of my youth, and I have a feeling that they were for a lot of people. So anyway, I'm gonna go. If you guys could like and subscribe, that would be awesome. And if you can go to IG, Vancouver Comic Junkie. You got any questions? You want to talk? You want to mention anything? You want to go, hey, Chris, you're an asshole. You can even say that. I don't care. At least we'll have a conversation going about comics, right? It is what it is. But I love you guys. I love talking to you. And I have another video coming right away. More books. I'm buying a lot more these days, like smaller stuff. So it's fun to do the videos based off that. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Go to IG, Vancouver Comic Junkie.
See you later.